Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
We have begun live streaming. Thank you. Okay, members, good evening and welcome to our Economic Development and Regeneration Committee. And I want to welcome you all along to our committee tonight. Our first item on the agenda is apologies. I have received none to date. Is there any apologies from the floor? Okay, we're lighting up here. Okay, Councillor Lapp.
Councillor Alexander.
Vice Chair.
Councillor McGill.
Alderman Baxter.
Alderman Mitry.
Thank you, everyone, and that's all recorded. Members, declarations of interest, agenda item 2. If there are any declarations, we can take them from the floor, or if we're happy to declare them as normal as the meeting progresses. All agreed? Okay, thank you. Okay, members, agenda item 3 is our consideration of our report, EDR 2420, our business plans. Members, this is an item for information. It's 3.1, our year end. Has anyone any particular questions on it? Okay, Councillor Lapp.
Thank you, Chair. Firstly, I wish yourself and the Vice Chair well in the year ahead. Hopefully it's a good, successful one. I have 2 quick queries. The first one's related to EDS 01 in relation to the active travel routes. You know, the target was 3 and sort of 2 have been commenced here. I think that relates to 13 or 15 different routes that were approved back in February. Just is there any update on this time about when those will be sort of progressed? Because I know there's a lot of interest at the time at committee. Or I can touch base offline if they haven't that information now.
Thank you, Councillor Lavery. I think Elaine's going to be able to answer that there. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Councillor Lavery. Yes, we're proposing to bring a paper hopefully in September time, so we'll have more information on the active travel routes. So happy to bring that paper forward as soon as possible.
Thank you, Elaine. Councillor Lavery.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Elaine, for that. And the second one relates to EDS 08, staff absence. I'm just looking at those staff absence figures, Chair, and you know they're substantive, and I'd like to get further details and reason on for that. I don't know whether they can be answered in this kind of business or we have to go into confidential, but just some more details around that. But maybe you know on the thoughts on that.
Yeah. Thank you, Councillor Lavery. Yeah, I think it'd be more appropriate maybe in confidential business. We'll come back through it then if that's okay. Councillor Trackernick.
Thank you, Chair. Actually, you've sort of just already outlined it there because my query would also be EDS 08 regarding the staff absence and the general sort of that issue seems to be pertaining through both of those reports, and it's quite a concern, I have to say, for our group.
Thank you,
but if it needs to be in confidential, that's fair enough, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. I think we'll address both of them then after we see the confidential report. So, okay. Members, we're all happy to note then agenda item 3.1. Thank you. Okay, members, agenda item 4 is our destination marketing review, and I think Sarah is going to take us through 4.1. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. So the information report before members this evening provides an overview of the work plan and the outputs from the tourism team in relation to both consumer and B2B marketing and sales, together with the range of supports provided to the borough's tourism and hospitality businesses during 23-24. And our work is really aimed at raising the profile of the borough as a brilliant place to visit and stay overnight, driving both footfall and growth for our businesses. Over the course of the year, we delivered 9 consumer, seasonal and festival campaigns supported by a targeted communications plan. The campaigns included, amongst others, a summer campaign, autumn, winter and spring, as well as festival campaigns supporting Food and Cider Weekend. Typically, our campaigns include provision of a dedicated microsite, which showcases the range of experiences, attractions and accommodation, including offers from across the borough. We also utilise a short video, which we employ across our social channels, and we also share with our partners in Tourism Northern Ireland, Tourism Ireland and others for use on their channels to expand our own audience reach. We also undertake targeted placements across print, broadcast and digital platforms aligned to our consumer profile. We will also send e-zines to our 13,000 database of current and potential consumers, and we'll pitch customised content to print, online and broadcast outlets as well. We'll also host media familiarisation visits into the borough to help build profile and reputation for the destination. So in terms of key outputs for 23-24, these campaigns combined included leveraging £43,000 in additional financial support from partners for cooperative activity. We reached a paid audience of 8.2 million. For every £1 spent, we reached 42 potential visitors. There were an average of just over 1,100 daily visitors to our destination website, enabling business specific information consumption and bookings. On the destination, its businesses and ambassadors were featured across a number of high profile programmes and outlets, including BBC UK, Irish Times, Irish Examiner, The Independent and The Guardian, to name just a few. So combining all outlets, we obtained the equivalent of 1.46 million of free coverage through our activities. Quickly moving on to B2B. So during the course of last year, the borough and its businesses were represented at a number of international, national and regional sales events that are organised by Tourism Ireland in conjunction with Tourism Northern Ireland. And these sales events really provide us and our partner businesses with the opportunity to present their products to tour operators and agents who have clients from across the world. So these operators can have a tour series of up to 100 dates. Others might offer a more bespoke service to their clients depending on their needs. And it's really up to us to customise our offer in response. So over the course of the last year, feedback from our businesses have highlighted that in terms of B2B bookings, they're up 20% in the 2024 year, year to date compared with 2023. The report also outlines the initiatives under support activities to our businesses, which includes weekly communications to 170 of our tourism and hospitality businesses, which includes details on programmes, initiatives and funding supports available. New entrants to the sector are provided with information packs on relevant legislation opportunities, and we also offer to meet those businesses in person as well. And our trade liaison officer has attended a number of the job fairs hosted in the borough on behalf of hospitality businesses to aid their recruitment efforts. For 24-25, this current financial year, we will continue to deliver fresh, innovative consumer campaigns and B2B sales activity in order to drive awareness profile and bookings for businesses in the borough. We will continue our efforts to target free media coverage and ensure that all our content is relative and attractive to potential visitors. We will work finally with partners to deliver more marketable, sellable experiences to add to our existing portfolio of experiences. And updates in relation to our 24-25 activity and outputs will be brought to future meetings of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. It certainly is good to hear that report. An awful lot of work goes on, and we thank you and all the team right across for the work that's going on. It's great to hear for every pound spent, there's a potential of 42 visitors, and that's what we're wanting, more and more people into our borough. And it's always great to hear the free amount of advertising we get, 1.46 million. I know a lot of work, it's not really free, but a lot of work goes in to get that, the potential of it. But members, I'm going to bring in then Alderman Barry.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you to Sarah once again for a really detailed report, and it's always good to read exactly what is happening, because so many times we can see the PR at a local level, but I think it's good to see it actually down in black and white in relation to how we're doing and how we're performing, and I really appreciate that, especially in that whole Food and Cider Festival campaign and tourism in general. And I think even that, you know, the BBC programmes, especially the Chronicles of Armagh series, was thoroughly enjoying, and it was really putting a really good positive light on the area in general, you know. So it's really good to see all of that happening and taking place. So no matter who you talk to about sort of that whole Chronicles of Armagh series, everybody was glued to it to make sure they watched every part of it. So I think that in itself was even good for us locally, because you learn something new every day. There was things happening out there, and even businesses out there in your own area that you didn't think really existed. So that was very good. And in relation to all the social media aspect, obviously being very selfish and being very parochial, I think it would be good in relation to sort of that whole sort of food heartland side of things and the promotion here in relation to tourism. If we could link up now with the big crisp supplier across Northern Ireland and further afield, Tato, that their tours are now opened again. Because believe it or not, I've spoke to people who have been over from Surrey and Kent, and even today from Downpatrick. There's a group of ladies of 14 to 15 people were down, and actually the good thing about it was they were supporting the local eateries, which was good. So it's creating a positive vibe locally in the town. But I think it'd be good, even that trade liaison officer or tourism officer, link up with the guys there, because I know they're booked out at the minute, but it is a really good wee boost there at a tourism local level and economy. And I think that would be good to see how we could maybe factor that in when it comes to promoting the area, because the success to date is very good. And I know they're looking at other avenues of expanding that tour and trying to fill that in. So I think if any help would be available to them, it would be good, because the positive spin-off is that it's helping the local economy, tourism and hospitality. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Barry. Yeah, it's also always good to help the new business, whatever. It was always good to make sure we keep our long established and names that bring people in there involved. So members, there's no other lights on. Is everyone happy to note that 4.1? Thank you. And then our 4.2, tourism, arts and culture facilities. And Jill is going to take us through that one.
Good evening, members. This report is an information report, which is designed to show the year 23-24, and the wide range of activities and services delivered through our arts, culture and heritage facilities and services. What the report is designed to do is give a flavour of the venues and the services, looking at the outputs in terms of visitor numbers, tickets sold and so on, but also looking at the outcomes in terms of some of the impacts that we're having on the people who use our services and who we reach out to. And I think that in terms of the customer comments and the user comments is one of the most heartening aspects of the report. With members' forbearance, I'll just kind of pick some highlights out from the report from each of the sections. And I suppose the headline is that in 22-24, the facilities welcomed 180,000 visitors through their door, of which 79,000 tickets were sold for events, activities, exhibitions and tours. And each of the individual facilities, as members will well know, has a very particular focus in terms of its events, exhibitions and programmes. So they are each unique in their own way. The Effie McWilliam Gallery in particular welcomed almost 47,000 visitors, delivering a programme of exhibitions and also workshops for both adults and children, which are incredibly popular with the local people, particularly the toddler workshops. And it also hosted visits by schools and by community groups, and staff also reach out into the community delivering talks and tours of Banbridge and the surrounding area. And the craft fair at the gallery is also an important touchstone for local craftspeople to display and sell their wares, as well as people from outside of the borough. The gallery has 2 points of earned income, principally through its shop and through its workshop programme, and also, as members will be aware, its cafe is leased to local business owner Joe Quayle for a very successful cafe offering there. We're in the stage 4 of the Levelling Up Fund project, which is the expansion project for the gallery. And this has come about because of the demand for the engagement and education programs that are delivered there. We simply don't have the room to deliver everything that the local people want us to do. So the new exhibition space and the education rooms and meeting rooms will be very welcome when they come along. The Marketplace Theatre and Arts Centres delivers a programme throughout the year, and in the year in question had 215 performances with 72 454 visitors, selling almost 55,000 tickets and reaching 79% capacity. And I thought members would be interested in the audience development organisation Thrive's report there, in which you can see that the regional benchmark average for percentage attendance is 60%. The Marketplace is 79%, which was the maximum of the range for that particular data point. So in terms of, in comparison with other facilities and other festivals across Northern Ireland, 25 of them, we are certainly punching above our weight there in terms of percentage capacity. The theatre also delivers arts and engagement activities, 118 art workshops with almost 1,000 participants, and engages with schools, communities, families, adults, children and young people in that, in terms of lifelong learning and learning new skills across multiple art forms. We also do work in terms of autism impact and have dementia-friendly film screenings as well, and just recently introduced the National Theatre Live screenings at the Marketplace, which is a welcome addition. Armagh County Museum then curates and cares for the collection, the county-wide collection of artefacts at the museum, and in the year in question hosted over 10,000 visitors to its temporary exhibitions and its permanent collection exhibition. It delivers a year-round programme of education and engagement activities, particularly popular with schools, and engaged with 90 schools during this year, with approximately 3,000 primary age school children coming through the doors to engage with that programme. And again, the curator and museum services manager also go out into the community, delivering talks to heritage societies, historical societies and community organisations as well. The Navan Centre then, in the year in question, had almost 50,000 visitors through the door, an excellent customer satisfaction rating, moving it to the #1 spot in terms of the visitor attractions in Armagh. And the new exhibition there was installed at the end of March this year, and has been very well received by the visitors to the centre. And the Navan Education team hold the Heritage Education Trust Sanford Award for its curriculum-based heritage education programme. Moneypenny's Forge welcomed 534 visitors, and each visitor there receives a bespoke blacksmithing experience. It works with the local community, and one of the projects there that we mention is working with the ARC community organisation. It's also moving towards a more eco-friendly approach to forging, which is very welcomed, and has invested in an induction heater to be able to carry out its work. And finally, the Community Arts Office, based at the Marketplace Theatre, delivered the Community Arts Conference, the first one that we have done there, Arts Builds Communities, in March, and it attracted 77 delegates, 27 arts and community organisations from across the borough, and 10 individual artists. We're also delivering the Traditions for the Future programme to 3 groups and centres within the borough, and working with 3 artists there who are working right across the 3. So each group is working with 3 artists, and we're also mentoring some emerging young artists there as well, so that they're able to work with experienced artists, develop their skills in being able to deliver engagement programmes, and so that they can do that in the future as part of our programme. We're also working with the Art Fund on the UK's Going Places programme, and this has resulted in the development of a partnership with Open Eye Gallery in Liverpool and with the Aberdeenshire Museum Service to develop what will be a lottery heritage fund bid by the Art Fund, but of which we will be part, enabling us to look at a 5-year access and inclusion programme, which will encourage hard to reach groups engaging with museum collections on a more regular basis. And that application will be submitted at the end of the year. Thank you, members.
Thank you, Jill. And again, good to hear that report of all that's going on. It's actually interesting when you do read through the report, some of the fantastic comments that are made. Sometimes we just think of attractions, but even for folks commenting about how relaxing it was, their mental health and well-being. So there's a lot of effects of this study. In fact, so okay, members, there's some lights on here, and we'll bring in Councillor Lavery.
Thank you, Chair, and thank yourselves for presenting that report. It's great to see there's a lot going on. And when they're presented in this form, you can see the substantive amount of efforts which are put in by staff on a daily basis to improve, the arts and cultural sector in this borough. It even brought to mind our memory. It's great to see that GCSE project still going. I remember when I was a young fella, a GCSE technology project was displayed at the museum there in the Mac. For those who are interested, it was a Simpson acrylic jigsaw trivia game. And who knows why it was displayed. It wasn't maybe my finest bit of work, but it was great. It's great to be seen anyway. But I just wish the staff well there and continuing and going forward. There's a lot of great work. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Lavery and Councillor Savage.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, just to follow on some of the in there, it's great to see so much across the borough, and what we have to offer now. It's great, and well done to all the staff now for the work and all that they put in there. But I suppose it also highlights the weaknesses there is there. Events in Lagan River, even Lurgan Portadown aren't even getting a mention this here anywhere. So I think that highlights, that we need to be doing more work within those areas right across. So, but again, well done to the staff for what they're delivering.
Thank you, Councillor Savage. Okay, members, no other lights on, so we're happy to note. Thank you. Agenda item 5, we do not have any items of correspondence, so we'll seek a proposer or seconder to go into committee for consideration of the confidential business items. Councillor McClelland and Councillor McElrath. Thank you. Okay, members and online viewers, in accordance with the Schedule 6 of the Local Government Act, exempt information will now be moving in a confidential session of the Council. This means that we'll be turning off the public feed of the meeting. This will return when the meeting is restarted. And I now ask ICT officers to please turn off the feed. again and confirm with me when it is on, so the meeting can proceed again in open session. Thank you. Okay, members, we're now back in open session here. We have one item of any other business, and then we'll be finished for the evening. So we'll bring in Alderman Burns, who's an item of any other business.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you for taking the item. I'll be as brief as I can. As you know, Chair, the Banbridge Hockey Club are looking to host the European Federation men's finals in Banbridge in October. It's something they did successfully back in 2016. It would be the equivalent in football of the Champions League coming to this borough, but they need financial help. This would be a great event, not only for the borough, but for also Northern Ireland. And as I say, 16 teams. I don't know how many bed nights that would be over the weekend that the tournament would be held. And I would like the officers to make contact as soon as possible with the hockey club to see if there's any way we can financially help them. I know it's a big ask, but it would be unfortunate to lose something as a quality event like this. We talked about marketing earlier on. This would market this area all over Europe. And I know that we have helped events in the past. We did financially help the sheepdog trials because they were outside the FAB process as well. And so perhaps we can have a look at it, speak to the Banbridge Hockey Club officers and see if there's something we can be done. I know that we have held other events like the European Championship clay bird shooting. And I know that people came as far as from Australia. And not only did they come here for the tournament, they stayed a month in self-catering in the borough, which meant that, you know what I mean? And then they were able to tell other people, so much so that they were looking to hold the event here again. Banbridge Hockey Club has a first-class facility. They have a fantastic carpet, which they play on. And it's only the second one in Europe. The other one is in the Netherlands. So that they are happy enough to come here to play, but they have to bid. But they need to know if they can have a bit of financial support from the council. Thank you for your forbearance, Chairman. Thank you.
No problem at all, Alderman Burns, and I agree totally with your sentiments. This group has had great success in the past, and we've been, when I was Lord Mayor, we were on the pitch with them and speaking to some of the folks over from Europe and just saying how keen the council are to work with them. So I certainly hope, I do know that come back even as just into the middle of May that we have been in touch with council and meetings have taken place already. I know Paul maybe can give us an update on that, but I would agree with you that we would love if it could be something could be done to help this club for, as you've said, 16 teams from across Europe. It's not often we can get an event like that into our borough that would bring in so many different. And I think the success of it the last time is what's given the appetite for it again. For there's more folks attended, I'm told, that one than any other place in Europe when it was held. Folks came from all over Northern Ireland and Southern Ireland to attend this. And I'm not sure that the right phrase is the carpet. Maybe it is carpet. I was going to call it a pitch, but it's a very, very, very great pitch playing surface. So thank you. I'll bring in Councillor Lavery.
Thank you, Chair. I think the club, or so to speak, have been in contact with all the political parties. Now we've wrote to the likes of the DFC minister and all regarding potential support. I don't know if that's something council could do as well, or unless they haven't maybe had those conversations with the DFC to see what's available to get those conversations going as well. If Alderman Burns is, to add that to his suggestion there, that council engage with DFC regarding potential funding streams and so on. If Alderman Burns content to that to be included.
Yeah, and Councillor, I suppose, and Alderman Burns, as just to point out, we can't make any decisions on any other business on any financial matter. So I know it is an issue, but I spoke to Alderman Burns before, and we're exploring what council can do. I know they have done quite a bit already, but just wanting to put that on record that we're not here tonight to make a decision for them. But and I agree with both the contributors. Alderman Baxter.
Yeah, very, very quickly, Chair, just to be associated with the comments, because I'll be chastised by my older brother if I don't support what Alderman Burns says. His son, my nephew, actually plays for Banbridge, and he played in the same tournament, I think, last year in Spain, and it's huge, it's massive. And I think the last time it was here, it was really, really, really big, and he was sort of seeing some of the photographs and all from last year. And I think the new surface they'll have at Banbridge as well, just led this year, is the envy from right across Europe, because I think because it's so new, it's one of the best in Europe. So certainly it's something I think as a council we should definitely be supporting if we can. So it'll be good to see a paper coming back, and we'll be behind that. Thanks.
Thank you, Alderman Baxter. Alderman Burns, you're looking back in?
Yeah, just short, briefly, Chair, could I suggest that we set up a meeting with the likes of Brian Johnson there with the hockey club as soon as possible, because to see if there's anything that they can do through tourism. You know,
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe Paul and the team can go back and see who's best placed. I know Alison looked at other different funding methods, and there's been a lot of work done, as Councillor Lavery said, as every party has been involved. So I think there's an appetite there to certainly try and help where we can. But as I say, in this forum, it'll not be something that we can make a decision directly on, but certainly, hopefully in the near future. I know timescales very important. It was very late when they won this, and it happens fairly quickly. So members, if we all agree that that's the approach, are we happy enough to leave it at that? Okay, members, thank you very much. Again, I would hope that our economic development committees don't always go on this long. I know everyone's busy, but thank you for your time tonight, and take care. Thank you.